Well, hello, and welcome to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahidah, and my fabulous co-host Tracy is back with me. It was a struggle, ma'am.
How you doing?
So, as you know, last week we did a repeat episode, and so we're back live for this Monday. So this will be airing Monday the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be taking a short vacation, but we do have other things planned while we are out for the rest of August. But how are you, Tracy?
I'm good. I'm feeling good in my soul and my spirit today
Why?
because it's been nice outside. We've been getting a lot of rain, but it's just been a nice few days. And it's probably because I've been out of work for a couple of days. That's probably why I'm just like feeling a little jazzy.
Well, I mean, I am feeling a feeling that I did not know that I was missing, obviously.
Talk about
And
it.
it is absolute optimism,
Mm.
joy, happiness, a fighting. You know I love Joe, and I'm sorry, I got to bring it to politics because it has really consumed me since Donald Trump stepped onto the scene.
But it's been a
So,
great week for politics. It's
and
been a
this is
great two
what
weeks.
I'm saying. Since I did not think the Democrats would be able to pull it together when with Joe stepping aside, I thought it was just going to be insane. But the way everyone has come together, how the Democrats have backed, Kamala, how the people are just joyous with her VP selection. I'm like, I love that old white man.
Shout out to Tim Waltz. Like, shout out to him.
Love him. It's Walls. We gotta stop calling this man by his wrong name. It's
He's not a
Walls.
waltz. It's not waltz. It's
It's not.
walls.
It's not. But all the black people calling him Waltz, and that's where they're gonna waltz with it. But nope, it's
Listen,
actually Walls. It don't matter. We love him. We
Tim
love.
Dubs, T Dubs. I'm T
There you
Dubs.
go.
So he's T
There
Dubs.
you go. And I did not know, even though I was just like, I was in it to fight, do what I could.
Hmm.
Um, but I didn't know that I had actually gave up on the fact of that I would be happy with,
Hmm.
I know that Joe's going to do his best as he is now and even going forward, but I didn't realize how much we needed her.
100%. And it's fun. It's like night and day from when she ran to for office a few years ago to
2020.
today to today. And I'm so glad now that there's an emphasis on fact checking. There's an emphasis on pulling people's actual record and what they actually did and did not do, and we're not just leaning on social media to inform us
Hmm.
as voters. I'm also really wanting to urge everyone to make sure your voter registration is right and tight,
Yeah.
okay? Get on your state website, make sure you are registered. Doesn't matter, if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. I saw the Republicans for Harris getting busy on Instagram, okay? So whoever you are, whoever you plan to vote for, just make sure you're together and you're not just out here pretending like the right to vote is not important.
Because again, if it wasn't important, they wouldn't be passing laws, doing everything they can to discount your vote.
If it wasn't important, they wouldn't stop prisoners from voting
Not all states, because I think
or
was
people
it
with records.
Minnesota
It's
is one
not
of the
all.
states that felons can actually vote, and that's because of Governor Walz. So and I think depending on the crime, you should still be able to cast a ballot for somebody, because if felons are out of jail, they need rehabilitation, they need services, and they should be able to, to vote on those things. You shouldn't be at the mercy of people who do not understand your struggle. You could have gotten a felon when you were 18 years old, young, dumb, and stupid, and then here you are, 30, maintain a good job, have a family, and you still can't vote, but then a felon can run for the highest office? That makes no sense to me.
How many? 36, 39 convictions?
Yeah, yeah, it was 36. It don't matter. It was over 30, liable for rape. I mean, there's just too much going on with that
Mhm.
one candidate. And he has showed us all he is crazy. But it's really good to feel this feeling of, I get like what Kamala said, happiness and joy. And you have a fight, but
So
you're fighting
someone
happy.
someone on Instagram said and this was shout out to my white sister Jen Rad, who is a
Mhm.
stylist to the stars. She said the best way to remember how to pronounce her name is Kamala, because she keeps you calm when you're thinking about what she
Mm.
can do for us. Like Kamala.
So have you seen the signs in the t-shirt and it's a
The
comma and then
comma and
why did it
LA.
take
Yeah.
me a couple of days to figure out what that was?
Kamala, yes.
I
So
was
I
just like,
remember that
what?
from when she
I,
the VP candidate. I remember that. So that's how
I,
I always remember how to say her name because
I
it
did, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That taught me too, and I definitely want that shirt. And also too, volunteer. If you can volunteer for your polls, do that. I actually worked the polls the last two elections, and I will be working this election. And I think they have some new things going on because I have like a 2.5 hour training coming up in September to actually go through that. So if you can make
Yeah.
phone calls, go on to the Kamala Harris for President website, volunteer. I do the food banks. I do the phone banks. I've always done that since Obama. It's and it's not as daunting as people really think. I've
Hmm.
never been cussed out by anybody on the food banks. I keep calling them
The
food
phone
banks.
bank.
What do you think of that? I've never been cussed out doing, the phone banks, and you're
Me
usually
neither.
calling these the battleground states. And usually people are very nice, and if they don't want to speak with you or whatever, then they, politely say so, and you go on about your business. But yeah, they're not as bad. The door to door is a little bit more daunting for me, knocking on, and I did that for Obama and Hillary, and I went to New Hampshire for that.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so I pushed myself to do that one, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still a little bit daunting because now things have changed. People are a little crazier, and you don't know how people feel about you knocking on their door to talk politics, or to amp up your the politician that you're going for. So you don't know. So it's but you usually go in like groups of 3,
Hmm.
so it's not just you knocking on the door, but just volunteer
Yeah.
and see
And
what
get
you.
your yard signs, people. Get your yard signs, get your
Mhm.
little flag that, if you want to put it up on your flagpole, Harris walls, it's gonna look good out there.
I am one of those people that do not believe in signs.
You don't. Talk about it. I want to hear.
One, I always felt that your vote is your personal business, that no one needs to know. And my thing is, how would I feel if I had to, and I've had to at times, go by a house with a whole bunch of Trump signs, you know? And I feel like my neighborhood has always been very respectful. I don't know what people's, leanings are on my street.
Hmm.
So we did have some newcomers come, and they were actually from Brockton, Massachusetts, and he works at like a gun range or something. And he had a sign on for, remember that woman, that Republican woman that was running for governor here? And she lived here 3 months. Three
The
months.
blonde.
Yes, that trash. Um, they put her, and I was just like very shocked because he's a white guy, she's a black woman. They're both from Brockton. So it
Mhm.
was like how do you, but gun range. So maybe that had something to do
As
with
soon
it.
as you said gun range, I was like, yeah, definitely ultra conservative, given
Is he?
hypocrisy, but
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know the
giving
man.
hypocrisy. It is.
I don't know the man. I can't speak to
Hmm.
it. But um I so the reason I brought up the yard signs is because the Trump folks got their regalia out. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, do it. I just wouldn't do it on my street because it's just typically how we haven't done it. Even though I know there are a few that are, Democrats, the other ones I have no idea. I can only
mhm.
guess. But no one has put out any signs or anything for the 22 years that I've been here.
Mm. And I wonder sometimes, like, am I going to draw unwanted attention by putting
Hmm.
the sign out? But and I don't have one yet. My plan is to get one. But I am gonna put it up. I feel obligated
Hmm.
because I went to a restaurant last night, amazing restaurant by the way in Cranston, right next door, house decked out with the Trump stuff. And I passed
Hmm.
another house decked out with the Trump stuff. And I'm like, I feel like starting some shit and putting my signs.
That's how I feel every time I see it. And we had a whole Trump store in Mineral Springs,
Oh, I
remember?
recall. It's not there now. How come
That
they're
was a
not
hard
back?
2 years, girl, because I
Why
wanted
ain't they back, girl?
to take that. I don't know, but
I'm glad. I'm
I won't
glad.
even step in the place now. I think they do massages and stuff.
Yeah, the
I don't even
energy.
want
They
the
need
energy.
tell them to sage it. They gotta sage it first.
Not good enough for me. Burn it down and build it back up.
Just burn the whole strip mall down.
But I have the shirts. I believe in it. Like when Obama had his shirts and other things personal on me, but
Yeah.
I just never did the sign. So for me, but I believe that I love it when I see it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go all and I've never had political signs in my yard ever.
Do it. Yeah.
I'm doing it this year.
Do it. I'm gonna love seeing it. And I think it's on my way to in Johnston. There's this house. I mean, and that's my thing too. Like you're gonna do it, and it's gonna be tasteful. It'll be a sign. You're not gonna have Kamala flags hanging
Yeah, don't
from
be so
every
sure.
corner, huh?
Don't be so sure.
Oh God, girl, no.
I might get the Kamala curtains, just hanging, just everybody in.
Look
No,
at these
it will
people.
be probably one to two signs, but it's gonna be well onto my property where if you're coming and touching my stuff, it's gonna be a problem.
I, it's crazy if somebody would even do that. We have the ring. We have cameras all
Oh
over.
yeah,
There's no
definitely.
you are really but I still see people with their walking their dogs and then just walking across my yard and I'm like it just
Oh, the
takes me to
footage is a whole novela. Like I have like I have fodder for like screenplays on my Ring doorbell cam. But anyway, from the neighborhood, the people in the neighborhood.
Okay, no, not much going on this end, but, except the damn dogs on my grass, and I'm just like, anywho, but yeah, so I am at a place of joy. I am, like
Yay.
I said, ready for all that Kamala asked me to do. I've been listening to the rallies. I've been seeing the people and the way young people are just, like I said, just activated. It's like, again, I cannot get out of my head with the like, there was a bat signal in Black women. And it's almost amazing too that you think about where we were in 2008 and how Obama came, and I was pro Hillary. And I was one of the ones that was like, I like the Obama guy. He seems nice, but he should just wait his turn. Like, she worked her whole life for this. And then he came to Rick, and I got in to see Rick. And I was just like, okay, Hillary, hear me out.
And I
You gotta
honestly,
go with
like,
this guy.
Hillary was my girl, but honestly, I think she probably served us better in the other roles that she was in because it would have been such a tough way for her to go having I mean, yes, she was married to the president and she
Hmm.
definitely has the political chops, but she didn't serve as VP. She served as first lady. That's a different energy than actually being privy to like Kamala definitely has more experience. Um,
But would she have needed to be VP? I don't think she needed to be VP to run for that role.
I
She
don't
was
think
a
she
senator of
needed
New
it.
York, just like Obama was a senator. They were both,
Yeah,
senators, and she's had the experience where she has met all these, political leaders all over the country. She knew how it worked, and she's just brilliant. I mean,
I'm saying
when
to
you look
win. I'm
at
not
a
saying she wasn't qualified. I'm saying to actually get where she needed to go. I think that counted against her in
But
that
think about it. She did have the overall, all the votes. She just didn't have the electoral votes. She had the
a
popular vote,
mess.
which
They
is a which
People
is
just didn't like her. They did not like my good sis Hillary. They still don't like her, and I don't think she
and
cares.
that was it. I think, and I always say this when I say to Hillary, the Republicans did a hit job on her from day one. She was a strong white woman. I'm gonna give her that. I'm gonna give her
The
that caliber.
emails, though,
She was a
like you took this
it
woman down for some emails about her daughter's
Because
wedding.
he wanted
Bye.
to, but it wasn't just the emails about her. It was just from the very beginning. They crucified her for staying with her husband. They crucified her for her husband cheating. Whatever they, negatively had about Bill, they definitely transferred to her. It was a hit job from day one, and that's why, it was tougher for her. Kamala, they did a little bit of a hit job on her in 2020, but nothing is sticking because all the stuff that they're coming for her and for from Walls, it's not sticking because it's all frivolous and people are tired of this dark dystopian life that Trump has created. If you want to, as a people, I'm talking about Republicans, if you want to be miserable and hateful and think that, your way or no way, and you want to scream that that's your America, it's not everyone's America. And we
Hmm.
are kind of tired. We are tired of listening to Trump offer nothing but retribution. Where is his hope? And when you listen to them talk, they don't love America. They are not patriots. They absolutely do
And
not love
who
America.
is it? Who are his primary funders outside? All international, all those financial injections that he keeps
Corporations here
getting.
too.
Some corporations here, but where's he getting the big money from? Other countries,
Yeah, this
other
is
countries outside have been keeping him afloat
mhm.
financially with a lot of stuff.
And
So
it amazes me that we have let me give my weekly shout out to Mary Garland for being just a shit AG, because we would not be on at the finish line without any retribution to this man if it wasn't for him going after the low hanging fruit. And I'm not going to go into it again, but he's a shit AG. And I hope one of the first things President Harris does is get rid of him.
let's go
Get
clean
rid of him.
house because she's not about to play. She Did you see her at one of the recent rallies where there was some protesters and she was like, "Say what you need to say and shut up." Basically, she was like, "Cause I'm
Yes,
talking here."
but and let me give a little shout out to my Muslim friends because I'm Muslim too. My supporters of Palestine because I support Palestine too. Now is not the time. If you want to protest somebody, why don't you go to a Donald Dum Dum rally? Go to one of his rallies and protest because he's talking about doing the absolute most damaging thing to you. And he's also telling you that if you do protest, he's going to throw you out the country.
I'm sorry, was he the one that created a Muslim ban?
Yeah,
Jog my memory about that.
exactly. They always feel comfortable. They always feel comfortable to protest a Democratic nominee, which is great. You know why you feel comfortable
Because we're
protesting
not
them?
going to do nothing
Because that's the
crazy.
American way. You don't feel comfortable doing that because what? His audience is going to beat the crap out of you, and the police are going to beat the crap out of you. So that's who you should be protesting because you will have no rights under this man. Time and place. I get exactly how you feel, and I loved the way she broke it down. Take your bullshit elsewhere. We are not here for that. We
Take
are
a
trying to
hike.
win. Loved it.
Go ahead, sis. But
Go
I'm
ahead,
telling
sis.
you, the energy has shifted. It is wonderful. We're in a good place, and I'm riding this all the way to November because I feel like it's gonna be a party in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it will. Oh my God. Can I say one other thing that I've done?
Of course.
No. I just say I'm Muslim. But I don't get up at dawn and pray.
Okay.
He has been getting up at dawn. I'm like, I need, because I didn't have any faith. I did not have any faith because when it was Biden and I was like fighting for Biden and I was just like, I was just feeling so despondent that, God, you're just letting all this stuff happen. When are black people going to get a break? And this is just they're taking us back to slavery. I was just despondent. I wasn't voicing all of it, but I was. And then this, and you know how when people say, what's the saying? God is right on time.
Yes.
He knew what we needed and he paved that way for Kamala because this is way better than I ever
And you
expected.
know I think really was like the thing that was the decision maker was that ketchup pack. That ketchup pack, something had to pivot and pivot quickly.
Hmm.
So when Operation Fake Sympathy with the ear and the all of that, you ain't heard nothing about that in 2
Which
weeks.
is amazing to me. You remember when Reagan? Well, you probably don't remember
I
when
do
Reagan
remember
got
when Reagan.
uh,
I was in
every
kindergarten,
day
but I
that was on
remember
the news.
that assassination was serious.
Every
Um,
assassination
attempt,
because he
and that
lived.
I believe was real. I believe that
Exactly.
really happened.
It was on the news every day.
And we haven't heard like, oh, we're trying to see if this guy was part of a bigger, cell. We're trying to, we're gonna make sure that ain't heard boo about it. You ain't
Mm-mm.
heard a boo.
You have to go look for the information. Why do I have to go look for the information on somebody that
Because they
tried?
trying to figure out their next
And
thing. So
why hasn't Trump been talking about it ad nauseum?
you saw he released JD Vance out to and he flew in on I think Air Force 2 or something like that. Like shut the hell up. Okay,
Weirdo.
why are you even here with your corny self? Like, and
He's a weirdo.
I don't believe in like breaking people down for character. No, that's a lie. I will talk shit about somebody's character and their appearance too when it's warranted. But he's not a good fit. Like he is not. I mean, he fits with Trump, but he does not fit with our American, like, and I do hold America up. Like, as much crap as I talk, and no matter where I go or travel to in the world, when I come back, I am happy to be back home
Hmm.
and I'm happy to be an American. That's not a problem for me. I just want an America that appreciates the Americans that live
You can
here.
love something and be critical of it.
It's flawed. It's
It's
flawed.
constructive criticism. America could be better, period.
Yeah.
That's all anybody's saying. And I always say, I don't care what anyone says. This is my true belief.
Hmm.
Black Americans, descendants of slaves are the most patriot people in this country. And I say that because at the end of the day, white Americans have shown that they will sell this country out for a pack of Marlboro and a hefty bank account. You look at how they switched over to Russia. You look how they switch over to look at Trump just this week. He was like, oh, now I have to support, electric cars. Remember how he was dead set against America? It was the most un-American thing. We were shutting down Detroit, blah, 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 blah. But now he has to support it because he said what? Elon was giving him $45 million. If
Yeah.
that's not a sold on your
Oh, he
forehead.
is the biggest sellout
But it's not just him, it's that
ever.
entire party. They will sell out America. Do not talk to me
And
about
they're doing a ton of fundraising, but I think that this is something that's beyond money at this
who's
point.
doing a ton of fundraising.
The Republicans, like they're doing
I don't think they're
crazy
doing,
fundraisers.
but it's big donors. They're not doing fundraising like
No, I get that,
Harris.
but
Okay.
and don't get me wrong, because I have my auto pay on. Kamala's getting my little
I
change.
know I changed it to once a week.
She's getting it on the reg, like it's on
Mhm.
automatic payout. So she's getting my money. And I understand you need money to run a political campaign. But I think at this point now we're getting to the point where we're like, okay, what is our society? If you go, and I travel, so you know, when I go outside of the country, people are always like, yo, what is going on with y'all? Like, why y'all so ratchet? Especially when Trump was president. When I went to Canada, anyone who could approach me about it was like, what's going on with y'all's president? Like, what is going on with your country? Canadians, and these are like native Canadians. These are Canadians with international backgrounds. Taxi drivers were wanting to engage with me in conversation about politics. I'm like, can you just drop me off to go get my poutine? Like, I'm not trying to have this conversation with you.
And to
I
hear
know
them
he
say
sucks.
it, to hear them say it, we're disrespected around the world because we're looked on as weak. No, we're disrespected because we allowed a clown to get into office, and that's what they say. They don't
And
say anything disrespectful about Biden. They talk about the Republican
not at
Party.
all. No one approaches me to talk about Biden as being like unfit or anything,
Hmm.
despite like obviously his physical challenges he's had in most recent years. But another thing that pisses me off about America, I know we're one of the younger countries in the world,
Hmm.
but to not have a female president to this point and for it to be such a big freaking deal. You know what I mean?
Iran has had a female president.
Argentina, like so many countries have had female leads. I mean, even England, which is the
Hmm.
the daddy of of all oppression, has
Hmm.
had Margaret Thatcher, you know,
And
warts
then
and
the
all.
other one not too long ago. I mean, she ended up leaving early. I can't think of what her name was, but she was a prime minister for a short period.
Like, why is this such a big deal? I remember, I think it was like in the late 90s. I forget who it might have been who was running for president. I don't remember who was running at the time, but I mentioned to my colleagues, this is like late 90s, that I think I would see a female president in my lifetime, and they would thought I was insane. In my lifetime, I was in my 20s. So I
Hmm.
let's say I lived to be 70. They were saying that in the next 50 years, they couldn't envision a female president. I'm like, that's what's wrong with the mindset of a lot of people is like, stop worrying so much about, does this person have the genitalia that you like in a president? That's stupid as hell. Like, you need someone who can do the job and do the job effectively, and who can actually form a logical thought and sentence and speak to our people. And I think Kamala has all of that. And it's
She
not
does.
just because she's a black woman, because there are probably some black women out there I would not support in this role. It's not just about her being black, it's about her being the right candidate that we need at this time as a country. And I don't need a fake stimmy check, because usually that's something that the Republicans who ain't doing crap like to roll out on you. And who's
Hmm.
paying for that? Where do you think that stimmy comes
It's
from?
your money.
That's your own money that they're giving back to you. Do you know what I did when Trump sent the stimulus that he sent out? It came with a letter and it was signed by him. I like ripped his name off the bottom. I stabbed it up with a pencil and I think I burned
Hmm.
because I was like, I will be cashing the check, but I don't accept that it came from you.
And that was it was such a cheap move. And if you can't see now that Trump is just little dick energy wrapped up in bullying and fake bravado, then I don't know what your definition of a man or anything is. He is just like the most pathetic person. No president has ever thought, oh, I want these people to believe that this comes from me, that, I'm giving it to them. So I have to, they held up the checks, remember? They held up
Yeah,
the checks so that he could have this fake letter and
yeah,
these fake signatures put on the check so you could believe that. It's like you're not doing anything but proving to us that it's all about you. And then
yeah,
you hear him now, and it's just, he's pathetic. And I just look at the people that follow him, and at this point, all you can do is like laugh at them because you are obviously missing a lot in your life. Like, what are you striving for, really? Do you know that the other day I was shocked? It was Monday. I was going up Mineral Springs, and this kid, he must have been about 10 years old on a little scooter, had a sign on that said, Make America Great Again, that he wrote himself. So I'm like, his parents sent him out there with that t-shirt on. And this is another reason why I'm sorry, for all our Caucasian listeners, I love y'all. I love the support or whatever. But if you have racist ass children, I have no grace for them anymore because I know that I've always took the stance of if we consistently give these little white kids that are racist to our kids in school and we're talking to them, I'm going to give you that grace to have that conversation, but I'm not going to let it be the case that my kid doesn't know that I have their back 110% against a little racist because he's a little racist at 10 years old
So,
because they know
so
what they're doing. They
here's
know
the
that
thing.
they're hurting feelings.
He's what, approximately 10, you're giving him 10 years old. So
Hmm.
your role model for your 10-year-old
Is
is a molester, a rapist, a 30 plus time convicted criminal, a misogynist. That's your
a
role model.
cheater, because remember, all he did in New York, he didn't even
Honestly,
pay the little
that
people for the work that they did for him.
oh yeah, okay, a cheater in that sense. I was like, I don't care who he sleeps
Oh no, me either.
with their consent. But yes,
But if you're
the
in the church and you're talking about fidelity,
a,
don't miss me with that.
a failed businessman, just a straight up hypocrite. Don't even care about Christianity, selling Bibles. This is your role model for your 10-year-old. Go off, sis. You know
And
what?
that 10-year-old knows how other children feel about that. They
Right.
know it. Because at 10 years old, I was very self-aware about what would hurt somebody's feelings and what wouldn't. So the little tears that they have when you go up to their schools and Johnny didn't understand. No, Johnny does understand, and he's gonna have to start suffering actual consequences because it's a damn shame right now. I think there are like three or four big influencers, white women, that they've gone back and they see them with these horrendous tweets. One woman was talking
Mm,
about how Tamir Rice, it didn't matter what happened to him, and he probably was going to be a thug anyway. And these are
sick.
influencers. You know what? If you go back 10 years or 20 years when the internet first started, you will never hear or read anything like that from me. And if you go back to a lot of Black people who have gotten famous, is that one of the things they come out? White people are this, hateful things against
We
white
do
people.
not focus on that stuff. We're so busy inviting the halfway decent ones to the cookout.
But we're so busy enjoying our lives. Why are you not enjoying your life at 12, 13, 14, 15 years old? You're out there tweeting or on MySpace talking about the N word and, these are monkeys and making. We don't do those kind of posts.
Hmm.
That stuff does not come back to haunt. The stuff that's going to come back to haunt me is going to be about elected officials. I know that.
I'm like, what would come back to haunt me on my socials? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what haunts me right now on my socials is like the photos that I took in the early 2000s. I'm like, yo, why do you look so bad? Like, because this predates lashes and eyebrows and everything. This was just like raw, uncut. And it's not just me. So I'm gonna tell you what made me feel better. I saw a picture of Serena Williams. I think it was from 2003 or 4. And now in 2003, that photo would have been fire. But looking at it yesterday, I was like, oh no, there was no makeup game. The weave was crooked. Body banging. Can't take that away from her.
Mhm,
And the,
mhm.
and the and the fit was appropriate for the time, but like toe up from the neck up. It was so bad. But that's how all my pictures look. Love you,
And
Serena.
I'm thinking my pictures from the 80s, like the feathered hairstyle, my eyebrows were way thick because they were, just wide. So, I didn't pluck them or anything. So that, and yeah, so it was the 80s. Wait,
Up
and I was
until I would say up until 2010,
it
15,
started shifting.
it was so bad. It was
But you
so
know
bad.
what? 30, 40 years from now, people are going to be looking back at this decade and be like, whew,
Oh, I'm gonna look at
that was.
in 10 years and be like, yo, girl, what was going on with you?
But you know what? If I look back at like the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s, even the 70s, I mean the 70s with the hippie, that stuff still looks good.
It does. So maybe it'll it'll do full circle and it'll start
And
looking good again.
we bring that back. But let me tell you my ugliest look that I thought I was just killing it. So I think it was around, I was probably in the ninth or 10th grade. So we used to do the feathered bang,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in the summertime when I was younger, my hair has a very red undertone. So it gets red in the sun when I was younger. I've dyed it black so many times it doesn't have it anymore. And then on top of that, I did a sun in
Oh
on the
yes.
bang. So it was red red. The clear schoolboy glasses,
Okay.
the sailor shirts were in.
Okay.
I
You're gonna have to pull this pic and post to our
am
socials.
Woody Woodpecker, ma'am. The bang that was red
So
and blue.
I had that, but in like the mid 2000s, and it was a
Mhm.
mohawk. When I tell you, when I look at these pictures, I'm like, sis, and you could not tell me I wasn't bad. You could not tell me these looks were not hot and smoking, and then like the bubblegum pink lip, it was so bad.
Yeah, we all had those moments. We had let's, but I hope that when I look back 20, 30 years now, I'm not gonna cry, even though I'm back to my braids are out.
Hey, me too. I had to take the
Had to
braids out.
had to take them out. That was the longest I had. But I will say this, because I know we're gonna talk about some hairdressers in Rhode Island, and we need help, y'all. But so before I let me tell my horror story. So
Okay.
we know in January I cut my hair into a bob, right? I mean, yeah, into a pixie, which I was like, all gangs in for. And something I did that I wasn't gonna admit to, but I did it on my own. There's two things I did wrong. I put a texturizer in it
Mm.
and the
Now
color.
we're getting to it because you told half the story
I
in a
I
prior
did.
episode. I'm like,
I
what's
did.
going on with Sissy? Okay, continue.
I did. I only told the color story.
Yes.
I didn't tell the texturizer. So when I first got the bob, my bang was like down to here. It was a long way or whatever, and it was a decent cut. I didn't love it, the person that cut it, but it was good. I liked it. Then slowly but surely, I'm like noticing, like, oh, it's my hair is not the same, but I did not know that it was falling out until I think it was May that I went to the state house and I had to have, like, the ID to get in, and I had to show my new ID, which I had gotten in January right after I got my hair cut. And I looked at the ID and I felt my forehead and realized that my bang was completely gone.
Dang.
And it completely fell out, but it wasn't like, oh, just out in the, I don't even know how. It was just it was just so it came out, but it was so slow. I didn't even notice it. And it really was. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna put some braids in it, to save it. But I needed to get it trimmed. I needed a whole lot of, like,
Yeah.
work to get it back to where it was, and I didn't. So I went to the hairdresser. I went to JMade, my girl Jackie, who has done my hair before. And when I walked, she was like, girl, what happened? And I was like, well, I colored it. And she said, that's it.
Come on, tell
She
the
said,
truth now.
that's
Tell the
it.
truth and shame the
Like,
devil.
I and I told her, and she was just like, I'm gonna have to cut it. It's whatever little
But it
growth
looks
you got
adorable. Like it looks intentional. It looks like you meant to do that.
when it fell out.
No, like right now. Like
Well,
it
well,
look
well, right
yeah.
now she shaped it. No, so I meant to do that. She shaped it and redid it. So I had to start all over, but it feels 100 times better than I did and I'm not going to touch it anymore. And
Don't
I
so
hate
here's the
going to the
thing.
hairdresser.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna say, and I'm not trying to put no beauty supplies out of business or any black, product line companies out of business. Stop perming your hair at home. And I'm gonna say, take your time when you're doing color. The box on the color always says do a test. It
I did
always
do a
says
test. I did.
it there's so many things, but I think what it is it probably was a
It
combination.
was the combination.
But the thing with texturizer, the thing with relaxer is you have got to neutralize that hair. That because the chemical is so intense. If you don't properly neutralize, that is what can lead to breakage and things like that. So for me personally, I don't know if it's the products that I used to use in my hair or the type of hair that I have, but when I used to do my own relaxers at home, it would take me forever for the neutralizer to go from pink to white. So any woman who or guy, girl, whoever who has texturized their hair at home knows that that neutralizer bottle is like the holy grail to getting you to the next level of being able to style your hair, because you have to neutralize the chemicals in the relaxer. So it's the cream relaxer, the neutralizer, and that neutralizer usually has an activation. It starts off pink, and that indicates there's chemicals still in there. When it turns white, that means that you're clear to move on to the next step, whatever that is, blow dry, roller set.
And in my
So
case, it wasn't even a minute. That's why, because I wasn't doing my whole head.
don't
I was just
matter.
trying to lick because at that time it was raining a lot, so it kept frizzing. It kept frizzing, and so I was just like, you know what? I'll just like put like a tiny bit just in the root so that it won't frizz up. And I've done relaxers before, like back in the day, but I've never done a relaxer and a color. But also too, I just had no fucking business.
Wait, did you
I
do
just
it the
had no
same day?
business.
You did it the same day?
It was like a week later. It
Did
was just
you
and then plus two, I have not had a relaxer or any type of texturizer or anything in my hair in over 25, 30 years.
and maybe your hair just was like in shock, like this
I
was.
think it was in shock. It was, and like I said, I probably had it in a minute.
What type of color did you use? Was it permanent or semi
It
or
was,
rinse?
and that was another thing too. It was a new color from L'Oreal, and I've only seen it at one place, and that's at the beauty supply store. You don't see it like in Walmart or anything because it was like the blackest of black, and that's what I want. Pixies look great when they're just black, jet black, right?
Hmm.
And that's what I wanted, and so I think it was, and I did do the skin test on it, and it was fine, but I think it was, and it could have been the texturizer as well too, because it felt like after I did it, my scalp just never felt good. So it between the two of them, I just think, my scalp just didn't feel good. And it wasn't until I put a henna in it that it started to feel better. And that was like I did the henna like a couple of months ago, and I just did one not too long ago because I'm not going to do any more color for a while other than the henna because I remember I was going to go gray, y'all. I tried. I tried.
I
It ain't
did,
doing
girl, I
it.
did do the color. I caved and I did the color.
What color
But
did you do?
I
It
went
was
to I went to JMade. I don't know.
um
I was like, I want something that looks natural. And she showed me a color that on the little swatch thing looked a
mhm.
little too bright for me. I was like, this look, and I want to say it said blonde something on it. I was like, I
um
don't want blonde. I want like a natural looking brown. She's like, no, trust me, it's gonna look good. And I put my trust in Madi, who did an amazing job. And this is the color that it came out. So
I
it's like
like
a
because
brown.
I see the undertone in it. So I
Yeah, it's like
see
a
the color
little.
and I see a nice brown undertone. Almost, is it a reddish undertone?
I just was like, you know what, do one of these. I was like, this one looks fine. So I just pointed to, because this would happen. I also took my braids out. Shout out to our braider, Yana, who is amazing and
Hmm.
wonderful and like the
And I'm gonna
keeper,
come back.
the keeper of the protective style. Look at the
What's
shout outs. Oh my gosh.
happening?
I love it. I love it. That
Mm.
celebration of it all. And so, in between, when I was growing my hair out, because during the pandemic, I went boy short. I was like buzzed, and then my hair was like really short on the side. So now, when it's growing and it's growing in shorter here
Oh, okay.
because of that, and then it's, grown in longer in the back. But going to get my hair braided, going to get sewing. So I also used to go to Canessa at Perfect 10 in West Roxbury. She did my sewing, so we experimented a little bit with the sewings, but I could not get like the sides of my hair to blend the way I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
with the sewing, and eventually it did, but then I just stopped. I think I took my sewing out maybe in like around February, March, around the same time as you
Mm-hmm.
changed your hair. And then I started doing braids again, and I was just like braids, braids, braids. But I've also been using this rosemary oil, and that is so great for my hair. So
Mm-hmm.
rosemary oil and rice water have been
Mm-hmm.
like my secret weapons. And I also saw this TikTok thing called, it's Dominican apoyo. I don't know, but it's this it comes in a tube. It's like a clear substance, and normally you would just put it on the hair. So actually, when I went to JMade, I asked them if they could do that process on my hair. It's a deep conditioner. It's like biocomplex. But I also saw that you could buy your own on Amazon, and I can tag that information on our
Mm-hmm.
page. And then what this woman on TikTok did was she took a mason jar, poured the apoyo in there, and boiling hot water on top of that. So I know what you're thinking, people. This jar is going to explode because of the boiling hot water. Did not explode. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, step one, it's very, very hot. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
like use your oven mitts or whatever. You're going to seal it and you're going to shake it up. So no measuring required. You take a tube of the up oil, you take the mason jar full of water, shake it up. It turns milky white. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
going to put it in the freezer. Still didn't trust that it was not going to bust everywhere. So I put it inside of a plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator while it was in the freezer, sorry, while it was still hot. Did not explode. I am so shocked. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
explode. And now it's almost like a creamy substance. So what you're supposed to do is when you wash your hair, you put that treatment, it's a leave-in. You just put it
Mm-hmm.
on your hair and you leave it. You style it the way that you plan on styling it after that.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a Dominican like hair secret. And since a lot of Dominican hair has that quality, it's not always quite 4C, but
Mm-hmm.
it's usually like curly,
Mm-hmm.
textured hair. It's supposed to give you shine and bounce and strength to your hair.
And that's what I actually got. And I had that before when I went to, my hair was growing like great, but I was just like, the thing with my hair, and I think I've said this to you before, my hair is very fine.
Mhm.
So it can grow long, but in my opinion, it does not look great long because once it passed the chin, to me, it just you could see straight through it. It's very
Oh,
fine.
so you might need just a couple of like
Yeah, I could
clip-ins.
probably do like, a couple clip-ins or whatever to thicken out. So I like to keep it short. I don't even mind this length, but when I'm feeling lazy or something that then I feel like, I want to be able to throw it back into a ponytail. I love a ponytail. It's always been my go-to. Love it.
Mhm.
So I just want it to grow back to a bob, and I think I'll probably retire with a bob.
Okay.
I
I
think
love a bob
I
and I
think
think
I'll
it's going to
probably
look good.
retire with that.
So
But
I have no
wait it out now.
relaxer. No relaxer. This is simply Dominican blow dry.
Mhm, mhm, and that's how mine was, and before I said, "Oh, before I should have did that, I should have just went to Jackie and just had
Please
her
go to
blow dry."
Jackie. Please go to a professional. If there's anything I can say, and I know it's not as inexpensive as it used to be. You used to be able to just go for $20 and get like a roller set. Pay the people their money. Give them what they deserve to keep your hair going.
Don't
And
be me.
please get your freaking trims, women. Get
That's
your
it. I
trims.
think that was it. If I had, like I said, before I put the braids in, I should have gotten my deep conditioner. I should have gotten my trim. My hair should have been healthier
You have to
before
prep
I
your
did it.
hair. You
It
have to
would
prep your hair.
exactly, and usually I do, but I think at that point I was just like so mystified and a little embarrassed that I did that, that I was just like, just braid it out, and it had started growing back, but it feels so much better now.
So when I went to Canessa, to take my actually my daughter took my weave out for me. She shout out to Alicia for helping her mother take her sewing out.
Because
And
Mia
then I
asked me to take hers on. I said no.
so mean to my girl Mia. I went to Canessa. Canessa did like squeezed me in because she's always booked and busy. Squeezed me in, did a wash, did like a light maybe leave-in conditioner, and then she trimmed me and just blow dried me, no finish. And then
Hmm.
2 or 3 days later, I went to get braided, and I think that was like another part of like the success of my hair being so healthy right now is because I trimmed it before getting the braids because split
Exactly.
ends, I'm telling you, we know black women, people have been telling us this. We've been reading about it in Essence since we were 5. Trim your shit, okay?
You
Trim it.
cannot hold on to, and I always trimmed. And again, the reason why I always kept my hair trimmed is because my hair is fine. So it looks better when it's just like a tight cut, and I will shout out again to Jackie. She can cut. And even though she cut off way more than I wanted to, I feel like she actually did the cut
She probably
that I
did it so
wanted
it could
in
be even.
January, huh?
If she probably did it so it could be even. So sometimes when hairdressers are doing that they're doing a chop that you really aren't comfortable with, it's because they're evening it out the
Mhm.
way that so your hair can grow back
Grow
properly.
back properly. But I
Yes.
feel like too, like I said, I like the way the girl did it in January. It was fine, but it didn't have that sharpness that I wanted. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like I haven't had to put like a curling iron or anything in my hair. It has been curled and then she layered it and I just sleep with a scarf on. Now I can do it in all these different ways later. I just threw a headband on for whatever reason because
It's
I have
cute
a little
though.
thing. But it's like she definitely I'm sold. It's just like done playing games. I don't like going to the hairdresser. I don't like getting my nails done. I'll go
It
for
doesn't take a long time though. I think I was there for a reasonable amount
no,
of time.
she is good. And I went to her this week, the same week as you. No, I went last week. I went last week and I got there at 3. My appointment was at 3:30. Yeah, in the washer at
Can
3:31.
we talk about the little woman cave that she has going on with her hair salon? Like I've never been in a salon
Oh,
that looks like that.
mhm,
I've
mhm,
never
mhm,
been in a cuter basement hair salon in my
mhm.
in my life, or should I say garden level? It's very
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, it is. It's cute. And you got the coffee. I got the coffee the last time, but when I went at 3:30, I didn't get any coffee.
They brought me
I was very jealous.
a tray with like a little fabric on it
Mhm.
with the cream and the sugar and the bustelo. I was
And
like,
it's
ah.
delicious.
It was so good. I didn't want to be greedy and ask for another one, but I was like, I kind of wanted another
I
cup. But if
wanted to. I was just like,
they would have gave me another one. But honestly, I think too what I like about it is that most of the stylists are women of a particular age. They're not in there fooling around trying to talk to their boyfriend on the phone. Nothing against the younger generation, but these women were there to work. They had the Christian Latino music playing in the background. They were there to do the job and
oh, where are
nothing
they? See,
else.
I wouldn't even know.
Girl, they were glory hallelujah and Jesus Christ
Nope.
up in there.
That is hilarious. Nope, they wouldn't even know because I don't understand Spanish, which is
Yeah.
pathetic. But
Yeah, it
yeah,
was Christian rock.
I do. I just I'm actually going on Tuesday evening for my other just like my
But
deep
the
conditioner.
stress of finding someone to do my hair in Rhode Island, it's it's real and it's not okay. Why is it I cannot like at the drop of a dime, I cannot find a good salon to either try to do a walk-in or book an appointment. Like I can't find it was so difficult to even find Jackie. So I got the recommendation from my
Tenant.
neighbor, and I also got the recommendation for you. So that was like two
And
notches in
I didn't
Jackie's
even
cap.
know. So tell them because it's crazy because this is she's asking me and I'm like, well, there's this lady
I
Jackie or
was like, well,
whatever,
she
and
give me the
find her.
address, people. Like, damn, Shahida, give me the freaking address.
And I didn't. But then she sends me a picture and she's like, oh, well, I'm at this place called JMade. And I'm like, oh, that's Jackie.
So let me frame the narrative. I was
Mhm.
driving around looking like buckwheat. Like literally, you saw how my hair was. Did I send you the before
You
picture?
did. You did.
That was what my hair looked like in the car. Like my hair
In the
was out
car?
to
Oh, I
here.
thought that was just you taking it out of a ponytail.
It was in like one of those band things, like the,
Okay.
but it was still, whatever. And I had just taken my braids out the night before. I was like, oh, I'm gonna wash my hair. I'm gonna use this up oil that I just made. Girl, I was not feeling it. I was like, I got to go to someone gonna wash my hair today.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get in the car. I was on the Googles. I was on the
So
Yelps.
you got in the car before you had a destination and went driving around looking for?
So my intention was I was gonna go to Empire Beauty because I was like, I just
Okay.
really want it washed. Even
Yeah.
if they can't get the blow dry right, that's okay because I wasn't necessarily looking for straight hair. I just
Mhm.
wanted clean hair. And I was like,
Yeah.
what's the worst they can do? A student and Empire's up the street from me off of
Yeah.
Atwell's. It's on Broadway actually.
Mhm.
Um, you have to make an appointment to go to Empire Beauty School to get your hair washed. They were like, yeah, we can make you an appointment. I'm like, do you see this? Do you see what's
Yeah.
happening? And they don't have a mobile like booking app. You have to call or walk
Okay.
in. And
Mhm.
I was like, this is trash. Now, mind you, everybody who was sitting there for their appointments had the same hairstyle as me.
Okay.
So I was like, okay,
That's
at
why I
least
wouldn't go there because I just didn't know who was doing what. So,
it was at the point where I didn't care. Like, how are you gonna mess up a wash in a condition? Like, I don't
mhm.
care. I'll fix it myself after. I just wanted someone that was gonna get in there, get all the residue out, get all
Mhm.
the lint, because when you have braids, all of
Mhm.
that stuff. So I'm driving around. Then I tried another place that is like on all the, on the searches, but they've moved locations probably two or three times. And when I went to the location that the internet was saying they were at, it was a lash place. This
Mhm.
place has moved, and they had like a business card there, and they're like, oh, now they're over on the other side of town. I was like, I'm not doing this with y'all, because
Yeah.
if I drive over there and you can't take me, I'm gonna start knocking shampoo on the floor. So then I texted my Dominican connects and was like, listen, I need something right away. And they were like, oh, they gave me like three or four recommendations. I don't know how my spirit just landed on JMade. And I don't know
Mhm.
if it's JMade or JMade. I don't know how she actually pronounced it. I'm gonna have to ask her. But
Mhm.
I landed on that, and when I pulled up to the location, I'm like, this is the place. It looks like, I don't even know, like a candy store from the outside. It doesn't look like a hair salon because
Mhm.
it's in a house type complex.
Mhm.
Got out. When I entered, I'm like, I don't even, do I go left? Do I go right? I was so confused, but I was
Mhm.
greeted at the door,
Mhm.
made to feel comfortable. It's not what I would say, it's like not a modern fancy salon, but
Mhm.
they have enough. They have enough space, they have
Mhm.
enough dryers, they have enough technicians there to work
Mhm.
with. And I want to say this is one of the best colors that I've ever gotten. As
Really?
far as coverage, absolutely.
Mhm. Okay. All right.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I was really impressed, and I will
Mhm.
definitely be back. I didn't really have any intention of having straight hair. I
Mhm.
thought I was gonna end up doing like a curly leave out, like,
Mhm.
you know, of my own natural hair. I wanted to see how that was gonna look, but I was like, I'm gonna rock with this for a little while. And
Mhm.
it's like I said, it's been rainy, it's been humid the last couple of days,
Mhm.
and I haven't had any issues.
Okay. Well, yeah, mine definitely frizzes up. So, but she blow dried it, and it's still kind of holding. I've been
The
like in the
Dominican blow
rain,
dry
I
is
just wrap it.
serious. They gave me a spoon to cover my
Girl,
ear.
you sitting just covering your ear when she first did it because I hadn't. When she first did it, it was just like. And again, my hair is fine, so I really don't need that much heat. You can blow on it hard and it is straightened, but to stay straight, I guess I do need a little bit of the heat. But when she gave me the spoon, I didn't know what to do with the spoon. I'm just like, what?
Oh,
She
the
said,
spoon is real. It's a kitchen spoon, a
"Mhm."
slotted plastic kitchen spoon, and that's meant to protect them ears because that
Does
them
that blow
third
dry
degree
it?
burns from the Dominican blowout are going to be real if you don't cover your ears. I understood the assignment.
I didn't know. I was just holding it. She had to tap the ears, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got
Yeah.
you.
It's
But
like,
yeah,
but long story short, I'm glad that JMade is there. But honestly, finding a black owned hair salon in any part of Rhode, I was willing to drive, and I ended up in Cranston. Like, either they exist and they're not promoting themselves, or they don't exist. Where are y'all? Please come to our socials, tag a salon that you go to if you know of one in Rhode
yeah,
Island that we're overlooking. It is insane to me because in Boston, hair salons are like liquor stores. You can't drive a
yeah,
block or two without there being a hair salon.
the
So
black
it's
hair salon.
crazy to me, right? A
Mhm.
black hair salon. It's crazy to me that it's such a struggle to find a
To find
black
one here.
hair salon or salon that caters to 4C hair is really the best way I could put it.
And if they are like, how do they advertise
How
themselves?
are you getting
Like
business?
on
Like,
social, like I did send you one of this girl who's on Mineral Spring, who I think I might try. She does braids, she does weaves, and but I didn't see the maintenance part of hair. Like just like,
she's like 19 too.
she just turned 20.
Okay.
Just turned 20, so she still is very young. But that's what I didn't see on her. But at least she has an Instagram, and I could see her
And
work,
that's
which
the
looks
thing. It's
beautiful.
like, in Jackie has an Instagram, by the way, JMade has an Instagram.
They
But
do.
a lot of these businesses, what were turn-offs from me, the few that I could find is their pictures were from like 2022. Step your game up. Like, what is
Wow.
going on? I
But
don't
then
want to.
how are you supposed to know who they are to even go to their Instagram?
And then the phone numbers are disconnected. You've changed your addresses. I'm like, what is going on? Like, maybe we need to connect with the Rhode Island Small Business Association to maybe get some kind of partnership going where black salons can have more shine and more visibility. Like, maybe they need marketing assistance. I'm willing
Maybe
to
they do.
donate
Maybe obviously
marketing
they must be
services.
doing well enough
Or
to
there,
be in business because I know there are a couple that I forget they're on. One is BET, and a lot of people go to BET. And when I first moved to Rhode Island, I went to BET for I think just
what does
regular.
BET stand for?
I don't remember.
I don't even know what that one is.
The it's on Broad Street, I think. It's on Broad Street. It's 3 floors actually. Is it 3 floors or two? But and it's probably the biggest owned, black hair salon that I know
Not
of.
coming
And
up in
there's
any of the searches, like
BET
literally
salon.
not come. It's not. So I'm searching black owned hair salon. I'm
Uh,
searching, like, when I do my keyword searches,
mhm.
I even searched silk press. I searched
Yeah, that's what I would think.
crazy, not there, and I even looked in like Booksy and the other booking apps.
Yeah. So I guess you would
Crazy
have to know
barbershops,
it because I see
crazy
BET salon.
barbershops in there, but no black owned. And I'm gonna be quite honest. There's a salon at the top of my street that I can walk to.
You see it?
There's never heard of this place.
It's
I
on
see it.
Broad Street.
Never heard of it.
It
But
reminds me of this place in Mattapan that I used to go. Remember, I can't remember the name of it. I remember Ace was there and Roselva, but I can't,
Adrian's?
no, it was in Mattapan Square.
Oh, I don't know. Because,
Yeah,
girl, that was your neck of the woods.
yeah.
I was like South End,
No, yeah.
Roxbury. And yeah, it's just crazy to me. So right now, like, if I was to go to a salon in Boston, it would be Perfect 10, or it would be shout outs to Shay, who did my weave for years and years and years. And then, like, for natural, there's so many good restaurants, so many good hair salons, and I can drop those in the chats too. But for years I used to go to Anik's, and when the pandemic came, it just decimated a lot of those businesses. And I'm wondering if that's what happened out here in Rhode Island. I don't know. You could speak more to
I
that.
don't think so. I think it's always been that way. I mean, like honestly, Mia has been going to Jackie for since she was in high school. And so I would go sporadically, but I was looking for like if I wanted braid or if I wanted a weave or something, then I wanted to be able to pick up and go, because sometimes not all hairdressers do everything that you want.
I'm ready to
And
open a hair
Jack,
salon just so I can get my freaking hair done.
go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
It's insane to me.
But
Anyway,
she is good. And you can't go by me. Like I say, I will go and get my nails done steady for like 3, 4, 5 months, and then I won't go back for another year.
but you
I will
don't really
get,
care for it. You don't like it. I am
I
a every
do like it. I just don't. When they're done, I love it. But then also too, it's like the making the appointment, the going. It's not for me. And I'm the same way with the hair. Like I like Jackie, I just don't go regularly. Now I have to go regularly because I didn't have to that myself. So I have to. So I'm content with going to her for months. I don't need anybody else. But if I want to get it, I wanted to get a weave, especially for when we go to London. I wanted, a thicker, nice blob. I wanted a few tracks in it to make it just a little bit
I
thicker.
got
Who
you.
am I gonna go to for that?
Girl, we might have to go to Boston because
Okay.
it's not happening in Rhode Island unless,
Hmm.
correct me if I'm wrong, because there are a couple that I have been to and I wasn't impressed
With the weave?
with, no, with even just like my natural hair and just like accentuating my
Hmm.
own hair texture, was not impressed.
Yeah, 'cause
So
I didn't even like, because you went to the new place in East Providence, right? And that's specifically for textured hair.
did not love it.
Yeah,
Did not
I
love
think
it.
they're
My
closed
hair
now.
looked like ramen noodles when she was done, and felt like ramen noodles when she was done. So
That's
no,
good.
because
Okay.
it was blonde at the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but shout out to Jackie. I honestly, I don't mind a regular appointment. I'm probably gonna try to pull up there every maybe 2 weeks to a month,
Mm-hmm.
while because I'm unless I'm gonna be driving to West Roxbury to get my hair done, which is insanity to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I when I can get it done right here where I live, and the
Exactly.
nails, we already know,
You
nails
got your
by
spot.
nails by Joey. That's my girl. So every two
Mhm.
weeks, that's my. I feel like I'm gonna be her baby's godmother. She's pregnant now, her first child. I
Okay.
might as well be, because I
Mhm.
mean, I'm there every 2 weeks. So
That is funny. And your nails always look cute. And it's like I said, it's not that I don't like it. I just don't want to go to do it. I know it doesn't
so
make
you
any
just want to
sense.
like, you want to just be like, you want them to like put you under general anesthesia, and then when you wake up, it's done.
That would be because I could do two things at once, dream and sleep.
So I have a concept, not to put Joey out of business, but I have a concept about nail salons. We'll talk offline because maybe this is a business. Maybe we need to write the book that we want to read. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, got you. I saw this thing on TikTok. I don't know how true it is or whatever, but it was the dip that you could do at home. And I've had the dip done and I didn't like it because it was very heavy on my
My
nail.
nails broke on
See, that's
using that
how
dip.
my nails are with gel. I can't do gel because
Mm.
after a while they get very brittle. So, and that's another reason why I end up taking a break or whatever. You know what doesn't bother my nails or whatever? The stick-ons.
Oh yeah, because those are just, and press-ons are getting so
Press-ons,
elaborate
yeah, they don't bother my nails.
and
But
so fun. So
yeah, so I've done those a couple of times. Darius said to me the other day, he's like, "Remember when you used to always get your nails done in blue? Did you change your color now?" I'm like, "Do you see my nails done?" Shut up.
I did some during the pandemic, and girl, they be just flying off. I
What
just be the press-ons. I would just lose nails.
see, I when I did it, I didn't have any problems with them. I kept them on for like about maybe a week and a half,
And
and
you didn't take them off to like wash your hands or anything?
but I had the short
Really?
ones though too. I had the short ones, and I never
Hmm.
had to take them off. And honestly, they grip. I was like a week and a half.
Okay, I'll have to
Yeah.
explore this. It might be what I'm using for the adhesive, but you know,
This one, let me show you
okay.
because where is it? I must have moved it. I thought I had it like right on my dresser, but it was like very simple. I got it from TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx or Marshalls, they have them, and it already has the adhesive in it in the box.
Oh,
Remember when I did the blue with the
is it a double-sided thing that, like a double-sided tape, or it's
yep,
already
something
okay?
like
So I used that. I'm telling you, the nails were just plinking across.
maybe because it was the length you had
But so it probably was the length. But I do
because mine
see
are short.
some people had gotten really creative during the pandemic, and they were making full sets that were like long and very
Mhm.
elaborate designs. And I'm in, like, I would be open to that if I had to take a break, because Joey is going to eventually have her baby.
Oh yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm like, oh girl, I'm like, what am I gonna do when my good sis is down for the count taking care of her baby? Like,
Mhm.
can I just come to her house and she just do
Or
my
go to
nails?
Tanya's because Tanya loves hers too, and he's just as elaborate.
So, and I must say, so this is actually a great segue because we're coming up on time. I will be going to Joey to take my nails off tomorrow because we're going to be on break because your good
Mhm.
sis is going to be down for maintenance. I'm getting a tune up.
Mhm.
So, we will be out. I'm having surgery this upcoming. So when this episode actually debuts,
Airs.
I will probably like be in the midst of my surgery. So I'm having surgery on my knee. Is something that's been a long time coming. It's much needed, but it's going to be an improvement for me. It's going to be made, a decision I made to improve my life. So we're going to be out for a little while.
But you're not going to be out because although we will not be taping, we will have 2 episodes and they're going to be all about us. So we're going to be answering questions that we kind of like picked. And so you'll get to know a little bit more about us and how our warped minds think. And if we're the weirdos and it's not Donald Trump, no,
No, he's definitely a
he
freaking weirdo.
is definitely the weirdo. So, but in the meantime, there are a couple of things just to keep note of. There will be the Political Jeopardy coming up August 26th, hosted by the Rhode Island Black Coalition of Women, which I am a member of, and I've been trying to get Tracy to be a member of.
I see you.
And
I see you.
yeah, yeah, you do. So she will definitely be there. She don't know. I might have to drag her up to help host. But anyway, that is on August 26th. It's going to be a night of just it's like the game Jeopardy, but we'll be learning a little bit more about our political process. And a fun way to do that is by, kind of like a trivia. And it's going to be at the Myrtle in East Providence. There will be an open bar. Nope, not an open bar, a cash bar. A cash
Drinks
bar.
on Shahida is what it sounds
No,
like.
no, no. She doesn't even drink. So you will be getting water from Market Basket. So it will be a cash bar, and then there will be food. There's a restaurant across the street where they're happy to let you bring it, come and bring it in, pizza, whatever. And so that's going to be a interesting night. I think the flyer says 6 to 8, but it's actually 6 to 9. So they're probably going to have to change that very soon. But I look forward to, you guys showing up for that. And I did get word that Sisters in Action, I don't know much about the group, but I will be attending one of their meetings. They are going to be doing a short play on fascism, and I think that's very exciting. It's called It Can't Happen Here Again, and it's probably like a little bit like the Handmaid's Tale. When I get more details, I will definitely fly in. Tracy is definitely going to let you know because she might be out with a knee surgery, but that is going to be working.
Not so listen, I already have a cane. I have a walker on deck. Listen, I'm definitely, listen, pray for my speedy recovery, and
Yes,
and we'll play it by
so she
ear.
can be out in the streets again, but she definitely going to be behind the computer. There you go. So until the next time, it was great seeing you back. It was something doing those. I only did what, 5 minutes by myself?
You missed me?
I did. I did. Don't let it go to your head though. All right. Till next time. Have a good week.
See ya.